Mark Twain said that to succeed in life, you need only two things, ignorance and confidence. But is that really the case? My name is Aarya Tyagi, and together we will discover why your success may not depend upon who you are, but where you are. People are born into this world with unlimited potential, but the moment they're placed into the hands of their parents, the scope of their future gets a little constrained. Now, why would I say something like that? Well, even if we assume that all parents love their kids equally, it's a fact that the amount of love each parent has for their child has little to do with the amount of attention or mental stimulation that child ultimately receives. Maybe both parents work and a child is left with many sitters or goes to daycare. That child will not be receiving the same attention or, more importantly, mental stimulation from its parents that a child with stay-at-home or work-from-home parents may receive. These things start impacting who we are, what dreams we have, and they create the experiences that lead us to self-define our capabilities. From there, children in elementary schools experience some of the most significant events of their lives. And these critical years shape how we solve problems, how we resolve conflicts, and it's when we discover our potential. These life events occur when we're very young, and they shape our thought process throughout the rest of our lives. Children in elementary schools are separated based on their reading levels, math abilities, and other similar sections that determine the speed at which kids learn new material and the depth they ultimately go into their studies. The most notable of these higher level groups is the Gifted and Talented program, which I am a part of. The testing process for this program includes problem-solving questions that challenge cognitive ability. But do they? These are the types of strange questions that kids have most likely never been exposed to, unless they have very hands-on parents. And the kids who do well on these tests are children with older siblings, as the older siblings ultimately help the younger siblings with the testing process. And this was definitely my experience with me and my little brother as we were tested into the program. So there's already an established gap between children before the testing even starts that has no relationship with the child's intelligence or ability to work hard. Once in the GT program, kids learn information at a faster rate, and so will have more knowledge than the children in the on-level program. But the most important thing is that the result of being trained to absorb more information faster are better marks in advanced placement or AP classes, in college, and eventually better performance in newer jobs where quick thinking is required rather than textbook knowledge. These crazy results completely shape our futures as adults, and the causes can be seemingly small or unnoticeable things, such as the working status of parents, the order of a child's birth, or even what month in a year a child is born. Now, if you're having some trouble with that last one, like I did at first, here's an example from outside of school. In Canada, in hockey, the cutoff date each year for every season is January 1st. Now, if you were to look at the trends in player birthdays, you would find that the most popular birth months for hockey players are January, February, and March, in that order. Canadian psychologist Roger Barnsley found that there were nearly 5.5 times more junior hockey league players born in January as there are in November. 5.5 times more players born in the beginning of the season as opposed to the end. And this case of age bias isn't simply because older players are better, but because they started out with an early advantage. In age class hockey, a boy who turned 10 on January 2nd could be playing a boy who doesn't turn 10 until December 31st. In boys of that age, a difference of almost a year is enormous in terms of physical maturity. So when the big teams start scouting, they look for the bigger and stronger boys. Ultimately, they end up being the older ones. And the teams that those boys get put on get better coaching, have put in more hours of practice, and have more experience playing at a higher level. Before, the difference between the two boys was that one was older and so slightly bigger than the other. But now, after years of getting better coaching, putting in more hours of practice, and competing at a higher level, the boy born in January has truly become a better player and is more likely to play professionally than the boy born in December. Dr. Barnsley found that these biases exist wherever there is selection, streaming, and differentiated experiences. And this same concept applies to our early education and its effects on our future success. So what does this mean for our kids? I think this concept shows that if you separate the talented from the untalented at an early age, at a young age, and give the former group a superior experience, you will be giving a huge advantage to those people when only the smallest difference would have differentiated those groups in the past. So what do you think? Is success equally attainable? Or is it just the result of a series of fortunate events? Does it really matter who we are? Or is it time to start looking at where we are? Thank you.